Everyone has things that they're passionate about, and they have very strong opinions on these things. Controversial problems and topics are everywhere in our society, and it's really hard to just avoid them. And we live on a planet full of debate and altering opinions. We personally have been impacted by censorship in schools, as all of us probably have at some point in our lives. Censorship in schools stifles the growth of new ideas and prevents children from growing into free-thinking adults. We'll be talking about censorship within literature, conversations between people, presentations in schools, and solutions to stop this censorship and a visualization of a future without it. First, we're talking about banning books within schools. A lot of schools in Minnesota or around the metro where I'm from haven't had a huge issue with the banning of certain literatures, but many books that have been considered the most moving pieces of literature with the greatest personal ideas, such as Catcher in the Rye, To Kill a Mockingbird, and Lord of the Flies, are all heavily banned books across the country, according to Butler University. This may be due to their darker themes or the more adult look on life that it has, which many people think that they should be sheltering a high school student or elementary student from, instead of letting them grow and experience these darker themes in a safe environment. Being sheltered, although opposing censorship has some flaws, all educators, especially those in public schools, can benefit from reading it. This is a quote from Julie Edwards in her Opposing Censorship in Public Schools, Religion, Morality, and Literature. And I'll be giving it to Caleb.
We're often also told that we cannot talk about political issues or hot topics in today's modern society in our classes, such as this one. And in some ways, I believe that can hinder our educational value and our growth as a society. According to Boggs in the First Amendment rights of high school students and their newspapers in 2005, advisors, while in support of their students, often allow professional and personal issues to dictate the final story selections. This would suggest that when story ideas become restricted. And when America was founded on freely thinking ideas. We broke away from Great Britain knowing that we want to defend for ourselves, we want to stand up for ourselves, kind of do for ourselves. And in this, us telling us, not allowing us to talk about what we want in our school and our society has hindered our growth of both educational and social. And James will now talk about our solution for literature.
So, the easiest and probably most obvious solution for literature is simply unbanning books in schools, putting them back on the shelves, making them required readings in classes. And then with that, you can leave the censoring of books, of what kids can and can't read or listen to, is up to the parents. And those morals that they want to teach their kids can be left in their hands. At least with this solution, it can be more broadly given to all children across the nation. With this, there will also be greater curriculum diversity within schools and schools. That's about it. And with the greater curriculum diversity, you can really make your courses how it needs to be and get a greater understanding for different cultures and people and the hardships they've been through in their life. And then I'll be giving our first visualization for the future to Caleb.
So we also want people to be more social in the speaking aspect of this for censorship in schools. On our first day of this class, we were told that it was our civic duty to show for public speaking. And this is brought up through the Bill of Rights, that we should be able to talk about whatever we want, whenever we want, or not whenever. We should be able to talk about whatever we want through the freedom of speech. Our society has been hindered by not being allowed to talk whatever we want. We should be able to talk about whatever we want in our public settings so that we can further grow as a society. And I challenge, this is something that we as students should challenge our professors, allowing us to talk about controversial issues in our society. And I believe James will start talking about our visualization for the future.
So a major thing about the future outlook is being able to handle conflict as adults and respectfully with one another. Being able to have a conversation about an issue without fighting is something that we all would very much benefit from. People think that you can't disagree with someone and immediately you're not friends anymore. Simple issue, one disagreement, gone. And that's just simply not the case. And you should also be able to live your life beyond the thinkings of a single problem. So say you disagree on one thing, but you can go to another. Decisions are made for the greater good of society, and that is something that acknowledging is good for. And this is why in a democratic society we vote, because even if your opinion is different, everyone gets a chance to show that.
So in conclusion, our problem was censorship in schools. We challenge you to take to action and challenge your professors, challenge your educational value, allow yourselves to learn more about topics that have been stopped from educational value of you. Censorship is a problem. We need to decensorship schools in hopes of creating a better society, and I challenge you to talk to your professors about creating a better society.